Hello, everyone. It's the Actual Shifter here, and I am back with another Multiverse Wars episode number 63. And I'm sorry it's been a while since the previous episode, like since Moon Knight versus Azrael, per se, because once again, I am in college now, so I'm gonna have to prioritize that a lot more than making my videos and stuff, because, it's furthering my education and stuff. But I still will try to make Multiverse Wars episodes for you guys and my other series like Forlorn Classics and Street Raiders. But, anyways, today we have a fight between two Guitarists within their own worlds, Lord Raptor from Darkstalkers and Brook from One Piece. Yes, this is gonna be my very first One Piece Multiverse Wars episode. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. So, without further ado, let's rock on. Zebul Sirach, better known as Lord Raptor, is a character from the Darkstalkers franchise. He is a young rocker who instantly became famous all over Australia after the release of his first album, Oral Dead. His next song sold millions of copies and his concerts attracted thousands of people, but turmoils at his heights were common enough. But one day, a violent brawl broke out, leading to law enforcement officials starting monitoring him and advertising against hosting other events. But despite the warnings, Lord Raptor managed to gain over 100 of his fans in a studio and has held his final live. By the time the police arrived, all the people stood floating in their own blood, while Lord Raptor is still on the stage holding the guitar and screaming just before becoming a skeleton. And days later, a book was found in his house containing information about Maki and a curse to offer souls to its lord. That is quotes. The words of said curse were the same of his songs, including the last one he called Sacrifice. Noticing his actions, Azum resurrected him as a zombie, promising him that even more power in exchange for the life of the other Darkstalkers. The Demon Lord also entrusted him with the beast Lamita as a helper, who was secretly a spy with the mission of informing Azum in case Lord Raptor decided to betray him. Thing that he's actually planning to do, But before this was even possible, Uzum's soul was taken by Jeddah Doma and his castle to become the gate to Miagen, taking the Lordless and Lamita and his servant. Lord Raptor then eventually entered the new created dimension, looking for new challenging preys and their power. Now, let's talk about Lord Raptor's powers, abilities, and feats. Raptor is incredibly strong, as he's capable of overpowering formidable opponents within his universe, such as Morrigan, who can destroy small planets, which Raptor should scale to, which would make Raptor around country levels in terms of attack potency and durability. He also possesses high levels of speed because he can react and move at speeds faster than the eye can keep up with, because Raptor can keep up in close quarters combat with other characters such as BB Hood and Hootzil, both of which use to make large use of their guns and other types of firearms. Raptor has also fought multiple enemies in Darkstalkers hunts commissioned by Uzum, and during the time spent in Miagen, proved that his stamina is actually very high too. He also has plenty of different abilities due to him being undead. His abilities include the Loudness Screw, which allows him to leap up to the air, mashes his legs, and make a single pile of flesh, the Death Hurricane, Hell's Gate, Evil Scream, Death Voltage, and yeah. And as for his intelligence, well, Raptor is an acceptable guitarist and a competent fighter, and thanks to his talent and charisma, he became famous and the god of metal, and his songs quickly became a sensation over Australia, as I said in the beginning of his origin. But they sold millions of copies, and his entire career was really just a plan for him to brainwash his fans and trade their souls for power. Prove that he is very manipulative and can persuade plenty of people in order to get what he wants. But yeah, basically so. But with everything going for him, he's still not perfect, as he can still be pretty overconfident, and his ability to take on stronger enemies, greeting and absorbing energy to the point where if he takes in too much energy, it can destroy his own body in the process. And a strong mind and spirit can resist the madness eluding effect that he has, or on his dark aura and stuff. But in the end, Lord Raptor still remains a formidable force, thanks to his strength, speed, durability, and many different powers. After all, for a rockstar zombie, rules are just suggestions. but limits are meant to be shattered. Brook is the Straw Hats crew's musician. He ate the revive fruit, Yami no Mi, which enabled his spirit to reanimate his corpse after he died. But unfortunately, after his death, his spirit got lost for an entire year before finding his body. And after it decayed to a skeleton, he later developed the ability to control his own soul, deprived his own shadow by the warlord of the sea, Gecko Moria. He was then adrifted within the gloomy foreign triangle until he met the Straw Hats, man and stuff. But despite his bad manners and asking girls to show him their underwear, which is fucking weird, and impatiently waiting for food, Brook is still a friendly, cheerful, and not always serious, sociably straightforward, compassionate, loyal, and keeping promises type of guy. He is also pretty polite and refers to others as respectful Suksin or San. But now, let's go to his stats. Brook's strength is impressive, especially considering in his skeleton form, he can easily slice through steel and fight on par with other powerful characters within the One Piece series, and he could even cut through Vegapunk's second dragon, which is the stronger dragon than the number 13 one, which can also take attacks from Gear 2 Luffy. It would put Brook's attack potency and durability at around island level, or possibly large island level. And as for his speed, Brook was able to perceive Thriller, Bark Zoro's, and Roma's movements as they were fought, whereas Frankie could not. And one of the faster characters in the crew also fought Roma himself, though he did lose. But also, he was able to speed blitz Big Mom while she was in the middle of one of her cravings, but Big Mom is actually pretty powerful herself, but this would also put Brook at around at least relativistic to, and also the very highest, faster than light, because yeah, that's how fast the characters move. Also, Brook has many more abilities he can use, which includes the Yoma no revive fruit, which he ate in the first place to come back to life. And then we have his swordsmanship and his soul-based abilities, where Brook can use his soul to perform various techniques such as astral projection, and this allows him to separate his soul from his body. And as for his swordsmanship, he is an expert one, as he's capable of using the Hanta Sancho Yuzuha girl technique to cut down his enemies without them even realizing it. Then we have his musical abilities with his guitar, where his music can have various effects from soothing allies to disorienting them to make sure that they don't really know what's going on. Brook is also well versed in music and in history as well as combat, often using his knowledge to solve problems and assist his crew. And he's even a highly skilled combatant, of course, and has centuries of experience in fighting. He is also a strategic, fighter and stuff like that, and can adapt to various different fighting styles and situations. But as for his weaknesses, while he is very durable, his skeleton body can still be damaged or shattered if hit with enough force. Plus, his devil fruit powers don't make him immortal, and he can still be killed again if he sustains fatal damage. Plus, he also has moments of fear and doubt, particularly when faced with powerful enemies or threats to his crew and friends. And his fear of loneliness could also be a weakness that an opponent could exploit. But despite his imperfections, Brook remains a powerful and really strong character within the One Piece universe, and his skeleton body, while vulnerable to shattering, still grants him unique advantages that most characters do not possess. But now that we have discussed both these characters, it's time we talk about who would actually win this fight. Now, this would be a very cool battle to see between these two undead guys, but in the end, after considering it, I would have to say that Brook would be the winner of this fight, and I will tell you why. For one, the speed gap is pretty large between these two, as Brook's speed is far greater than Lord Raptor's, because Brook was able to perceive Thriller, Brook, Zoro's, and Roma's movement speeds during their fight, which would, once again, I said in his analysis, makes around relativistic to faster than light, whereas Lord Raptor's speed is only really around supersonic because he can dodge bullets from other characters within his world. He use guns. But in terms of attack potency and strength and durability, Raptor does actually take this spot, because Raptor can fight on par with Morrigan, who can destroy small planets, which wouldn't make him around country level at least, whereas Brooks caps out at around island level at best. But now we get to the real deciding factor of this fight: abilities and experience. because Brook has the power to interact with souls directly, and his music can affect the souls of others, causing them to be pacified, confused, or even manipulated. He can also leave his body in soul form, which would allow him to attack in ways that bypass physical defenses. And this is pretty crucial since Lord Raptor himself is an undead being reliant on soul's vitality. Plus, Raptor doesn't have the same level of direct control or interaction of souls that Brook has. And not to mention just the fact that Brook is more experienced than Raptor too. Brook's at around his 90s, where, Lord Raptor is really just not as old. Also, Brook would also be just too fast for Raptor to hit. So when it comes down to it, Brook can just beat Lord Raptor primarily due to his superior speed, his more superior powers and abilities to manipulate and affect souls more effectively, his precision in combat, and his experience. While Raptor is pretty powerful in his own right, his reliance on dark energy and brute strength could still be outmaneuvered by Brook's speed, really, and more useful abilities, plus his more tactical mind and experience in combat. So, in the end, the winner is Brook.